Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and today I'm going to be sharing with you my birthday / July book haul. I got basically 2 books for my birthday and the rest is all things that I've gotten for my birthday. So some of these I just got in the month of August or the first week of August, but they're still associated with my birthday, so I'm going to include them here. So grab a drink and let's just hang out and let's go through these because there's stacks of books. So the first one that I bought for myself at the beginning of the month, I ended up going into Goodwill and I got Daisy Jones and the Six. This is by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This one is supposed to be like a Fleetwood Mac inspired story about a rock band in the 70s. And I think it's the 70s, right? Oh, in the late 60s. Okay, well, still. 60s and 70s, whatever. That it's supposed to be like Fleetwood Mac inspired. So I've heard really great things about this book. I know it's written in an interview style. So I do want to be able to read it physically. I've heard that the audiobook is really good, but going into it with having all the different people, different characters and stuff like that, I want to be able to read it physically because I think I'll be able to follow it better. So I loved Atmosphere by this author. I have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo that I desperately need to read. I started listening to it on audio, but I wasn't in the mood for it at that time, so I never finished it. I will go back to it though. And so yeah, now I have this one too. The next one that I bought for myself is one that I had looked up a while back, some of the top books of the year so far, and this was one of them. And that is This Story Might Save Your Life by Tiffany Crum. This is supposed to be a new like podcast or a new thriller with podcast elements. Benny Abbott and Joy Moore host one of the most beloved podcasts in the world. And I think one of them goes missing or something happens where they need to like tell the story or figure out the ending of the story, something like that. And it might save their life. So it sounded really good. It says each week they delight listeners with a different, against all odds survival story, gleefully finding the weird, life-affirming humor in near-death experiences. Since their first episode on Joy's experience with severe narcolepsy, they've been the best friends everyone wants to befriend, and thanks to the meticulous management of Joy's husband, Xander, they've built a lucrative empire. The problem is, their next survival story may be their own. When Benny arrives at Joy and Xander's home one morning to record, he finds shattered glass and an empty house. The one clue shedding light on the couple's disappearance is the incomplete, previously unseen first draft of Joy's memoir. So yeah, so they go missing and they gotta figure it out. And I don't know, it just sounded really good. So I got this one off of Pango. I'm really excited to try it out and hopefully I love it. I have a couple of different thrillers that are like podcast based. So really looking forward to trying them out and seeing how I like them. I love to Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintura. I read that one last year, I think, and I gave it like 4.5 stars. So I'm excited to try more in this kind of a newer podcast-esque type of hype. I don't know, trope? Okay, so now let's get into, sorry, it's really hot. So now let's get into my birthday haul. So first things first, the book that my mom got me for my birthday, because she knew that I was reading the series, she knew that I needed to finish buying the series, so my mom got me The Inevitable Ruin by Matt Dinniman. This is book 7 in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. I need to read book number 6 still, but I already have that one. So this is the next one that I'm gonna have to read after that, and so she got me the next one in the series. And I love these books. If you don't know anything about these books, then it's basically aliens invade the world, and everybody who is inside gets crushed, and like by the buildings that they're in, everything like crumbles, and our main character Carl is outside in his underwear trying to save his ex-girlfriend's cat from a tree. And so they live, and they go down into the dungeons to try and live and get their lives back, basically. and it goes from there. And this is a lit RPG. It's absolutely fantastic. I love these books so much. I have a Princess Donut and Mongo t-shirt, and I have pencil bags, and I love these characters. I love this story. They're such a blast. They're chunky as all get out, but they're so good. So very excited to continue with this series. So after that, oh, I guess I also have, well, I'll get to those in a minute. So anyways, on my birthday, we ended up going, obviously, book shopping, and my husband had a book for me that morning that I actually just finished reading, and that is The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. I just finished this morning. I gave this 4.5 stars. I've never read anything by Joe Abercrombie, and I loved this book. The only downside with this book is that at times he could get a little bit repetitive, like their catchphrases were very repetitive, and he could get kind of wordy, like, so it could feel kind of like it was kind of slogging. But overall, I absolutely love these characters. I loved the story. There were betrayals, and there were friendships, and there was crazy things that were happening. There were crazy characters. It kind of reminded me a little tiny bit of like A League of Extraordinary Gentlemen with Sean Connery, the movie, but kind of darker and not like classic characters. You had like classic tropes, so you have a werewolf, a vampire, a magician, an elf, but it's a little bit darker, and it's not your traditional characters. So I loved this a lot. I'm really excited to read the next book. I believe it comes out next year in May, and I will absolutely be buying it and reading it because I really enjoyed this, and now hopefully my husband will read it, and hopefully he'll like it as well. So then with book shopping, we have a secondhand movie entertainment store. They have movies, they have books, they have video game stuff, they have all kinds of different things. And we went in there for my birthday. Once in a while I get lucky and I find some books for a good price, and I got lucky on my birthday. So the first one I picked up was Lady Tremaine. This is by Rachel Hawkhauser, and this one is a Cinderella retelling, but at least from what I remember of the synopsis, it's definitely a different story, but it's from the perspective of the stepmom. So I'm really curious to try this one out. This is another one that's one of the top books of the year, I want to say. And so I've been kind of wondering about it, seeing if I would like it. I don't read a whole lot of retellings, but I'm definitely curious. So I'm excited to try it out, see what I think, and hopefully I love it. The other one that I got on a really great deal is A Sea of Unspoken Things by Adrienne Young. This is the same author of The Unmaking of June Farrow. I've read that one, which I gave 5 stars. It's one of my favorite books of all time. And then I've read another one by her, but I cannot remember the name of it right now. And that one I thought was good, but not as good as June Farrow. So this is another one that she wrote more recently. I'm really curious to try it out. I'm a little bit nervous, but yeah, I really like her writing. She has a magical realism thing that she does that I really enjoy. I love magical realism in books, and so I'm really excited to see what I think of this one and potentially be able to share it with my mom and my sister, because I know that they've read from her too, or I think my sister has. And then now we get into the big stacks. Okay, so I'm gonna try and keep these with what I got. Technically it's like my husband got them kind of for me, because he and the kids gave me gift cards to Barnes, and then we went into Barnes and I spent that money. So first and foremost, we're gonna go with the one that I've already actually read, and I actually finally found a copy of Bloom by Delilah S. Dawson for myself. I was so excited. I've only ever seen this book in my Barnes & Noble one time. I didn't buy it because it was a hardcover and it was like 20 bucks, which is a lot in my opinion for a tiny little novella. But I told my husband that morning actually that if they had a copy of Bloom, I was gonna buy it, hands down, because I've regretted not buying it since that one time that I saw it, because it's never at my store. And sure enough, on my birthday, they had it in paperback right there, and so I snagged it and I would not set it down because I was so excited to find this. So I definitely want to reread this one again, hopefully this fall. I loved this so much. It had like a creepy Hansel and Gretel feel, but it was sapphic and it was dark. And like when shit hit the fan, like it really, really hit the fan, and I absolutely loved this. This was what I think my #2 top book of last year, and it was absolutely phenomenal. I'm not a huge reader of novellas, but this one, it hit, and it hit hard, and I absolutely love it. So I cannot wait to reread this book. Next up, it's one that I've been watching on Amazon. A lot of these are ones that I've had my eye on. So the next one is Starside by Alex Astor. This one, if I remember correctly, is like a God's kind of trials. It says, hundreds of years ago, a brutal war split a land in two. Starside is the realm of magic and immortals, the descendants of the gods, living in a power-rich paradise. Stormside is where mortals fight for scraps of that magic. Every 50 years, the gates between them open, and 50 challengers are allowed to journey across Starside on a deadly quest for magic that can heal, grant wealth, or extend life. Everyone has their reasons for entering, but Eris has only one: vengeance against the gods who killed her family. Winning one of the 50 spots on the quest won't be easy. An orphan blacksmith's apprentice, Eris doesn't have the superior weapons of the heirs from the great houses, but the greatest swords, one that contain power, are not inherited or bought, they are claimed by both sides. And when Eris claims a great sword, it makes her not just a real competitor, but a target. Countless dangers await on Starside. With a blade most would kill to take. Eris can't trust anyone, especially not Harlan Raker, the merciless and mysterious knight who betrayed her years ago, and who may now be the key to her survival. But Eris is hiding a secret tied to her family's death. When it's revealed, not even the gods will be able to stop what's coming. So this sounds so good. This cover is stunning, absolutely beautiful, and of course the map on the end papers and the pages. This book is so cool. I'm so excited to read it. I love the books that I've read with the trials in them so far. I really enjoy them. I have a lot of fun, so I'm excited to pick this one up. The next one is another absolutely beautiful special edition that I could not leave at the store. I couldn't do it. I've been watching this book. I've gotten it from the library multiple times, and I still haven't read it yet. And now it is mine. So that is The Poet Empress. This is by Shen Tao. Again, absolutely beautiful edition. It's got this gold sprayed edges, the beautiful watercolor sprayed end papers, and then the naked hardcover. Absolutely beautiful book. It says, in the waning years of the Azalea dynasty, the emperor is dying. The land is consumed by famine, and poetry magic is lost to all except the powerful. Wei Yin is desperate. After the 5th death of a sibling, with her family and village on the brink of starvation, she will do anything to save those she loves, even offer herself as a concubine to the cruel, desolate heir of the blood-glutted Azalea house. But in a twist of fate, the inner court stands on the knife edge of civil war, with Wei now at the center as the princess chosen. To survive, Wei must harden her heart, rely on her wit, and become dangerous herself, even if it means learning the art of poetry magic in secret, in a world where women are forbidden to read and wielding the most powerful spell of all, a ballad of death and love. So it sounds really, really good, and it's just stunning. So I hope I love this book, and I can't wait. Another one that I got, because I had to finish out the series, I had to buy the newest one, is A Parade of Horribles by Matt Dinniman. This is the most recent one that he's come out with. This is book number 8. I believe there's supposed to be 10 books in the series, if I remember correctly. This is just the most recent. I think this one came out back in May. So it's motivating me to continue reading. I haven't picked up Dungeon Crawler Carl for a minute, so I need to keep going. Next up, I got The Geo-Magician. This is by Jennifer Mandula. This one is basically like a mix between Jurassic Park, because of paleontology, and Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. That's basically all I know about this. It's like paleontology, but with magic, and it's cozy. And I can't wait. I'm so excited to read this book. This is the actual hardcover of it, so it's absolutely beautiful. And that's all I know, but that's all I really needed to know with this book, because it just sounded great. So next up, for the ones that I bought, I've already talked about this one in my TBR video, but this is Erebus 13. This is by David Wellington. This is the third and final book in his Red Space trilogy, the first one being Paradise 1. I've read the first 2 books and I really enjoyed them. I gave them 4.5 stars, and this is the final book. So this one came out in the middle of July. I think it was like July 13th or whatever that Tuesday was. That's when it came out, so it didn't come out all that long ago, and I knew that I was going to be buying this book. I wanted to finish the series out. I knew it was coming out in July, so I bought it. I haven't read it yet, but it is in plans. The next one that I got was Summer Fun Massacre. This is by Craig DeLuey. I've never read anything from this author before, but this one caught my eye and I am so excited to read it. This one is set in the 90s at a summer camp, and it is a slasher. How do I explain this? So back in the 80s, somebody came in and killed everybody, leaving one final girl. Now it's the 90s, they've reopened the camp, and now everything is starting to kind of happen again. So it is a 90s summer camp slasher. I cannot wait. This is another one from Orbit, and I just can't wait to read it. Okay, the next one that I got was actually sent to me from Orbit, and I cannot wait to read it. I'm so incredibly excited, and that is The Only Way Out Is Up by Django Wexler. This is his newest book, newest series that's going to be coming out. It comes out on September 29th. I haven't read this yet. I have it in plans to read very, very, very soon because I cannot wait. And this one is basically like Dungeon Crawler Carl, but Django Wexler's humor. At least that's how it sounds. So it says, a small-time scrapper and his pet robot will fight their way out of a junk heap in a tournament that will either make them richer than gods or rip them apart in the first book of Django Wexler's brand new, lower-climbing, robot-fighting progression fantasy adventure for fans of Cradle and Dungeon Crawler Carl. Taj lives in a junk heap, scavenging scrap to keep his family fed and dodging the monsters who live among the wreckage. His only edge is a smart-ass construct named Star he built himself. Taj dreams of winning big with Star in the construct fighting circus, but victory always seems just beyond his reach, and the debt collectors are at the door. His world changes forever when someone there makes him an offer that seems too good to be true. A chance to fight in the Ascent, the ultimate fighting tournament, for a prize beyond his wildest fantasies. But things that seem too good to be true usually are, and Taj finds his new benefactor comes with plenty of new enemies. As he ventures beyond the world he's ever known, the only world he's ever known, he discovers it's not just his money on the line in the Ascent, it's his life. So I cannot wait to read this one. I'm so incredibly excited. Thank you again to Orbit for sending me this. I can't wait. I can't wait. Okay, so the next couple are ones that my sister sent to me for my birthday. She got me a Kindle, so I can now read books on that. But she also sent me Twilight Hauntings by Angie Sage. This is a middle grade fantasy, and that's really all I know. She got a copy for her as well. So we're hoping that it turns out really good and that we both really enjoy it. It says Alex is an orphan with a dangerous secret. She has the power to see into the future. It's a cruel gift for someone who just wants to know her past. Danny has his dream job to hunt and kill those who practice magic, but it is rapidly turning into a nightmare. Haggis lost everything 10 years ago, his daughter, his title, and his dignity, and he's determined to get it all back, starting with a real pair of pants. And Howard the donkey just wants to stay home. Like all those in Twilight Hauntings, he's about to learn just how dangerous it can be to get what you want. So it sounds like it's going to be a really fun time, and I don't know, I'm really curious, and I'm really excited to read this one. The other one that she got me just got here, 2 days ago, I think? And that is Sea of Charms by Sarah Beth Durst. This is the next book in her Spell Shop series. There is going to be a 4th book, and I cannot wait. This is the 3rd one though. This is the one that just came out right after my birthday. She ordered it for us, and not only did she order it, she got it signed, personalized for me for my birthday. Absolutely amazing. How awesome is that? So I have another amazing addition to add to my shelves, and it's even better because it's signed and personalized from Sarah Beth Durst. So this one, I don't really remember what this one is. This one is Marin that she was the one who did the ship in the Enchanted Greenhouse. And I can't remember which plant goes with her, but one of the plants, she has one of the plants with her. And it says, Marin has always belonged on the great blue sea. Betrayed by love, she lives and works as a supply runner, sailing from island to island, delivering an array of goods with Perry, the sea serpent, and Ree, the sailor shrub, as her crew. On one of their routine trips to the capital, Elysium, Marin finds a revolution underway, and her friend Dax in the line of fire. What starts as a rescue evolves into a deal. She will have keep Dax on as a member of her crew if he pretends to be her boyfriend at the end of the Harvest Festival back home. But against her better judgment, Marin finds herself intrigued by his stubbornness, his passion for stories, his charming smile, and realizes that perhaps she isn't saving him. Maybe it's the other way around. Sea of Charms is a cozy fantasy romance about finding your crew, your family, and moreover, finding yourself. So I guarantee I'm going to absolutely fall in love with these characters because I fall in love with all of her characters. She creates worlds that are so incredibly amazing. They're in-depth and beautiful, and there's fun creatures, and there's just quirky characters, and I love everything about her books. I've loved every single book of hers that I've read, and this series is no different. I am still holding out hope that she is going to, at some point, combine all of these books and have everybody kind of find their way together, because right now these are all like interconnected standalones. But I'm hoping at some point in the series that she still rounds everything out, brings everybody back together, and I can't wait to see when that happens. But at least for right now, I'm very excited to see the next installment of this book, and I can't wait to read it. I'm going to be picking this one up very, very soon as well. I hope. I have this whole pile of books and I want to read all of them right now. Okay, and then I have 3 more that I got at Barnes or off of Amazon since my birthday, but it's kind of like a continuation of my birthday because it was like with gift cards and whatnot. So the first one I got off of Amazon, and that is The Second Death of Locke. This is by V.L. Bovalino, and this is another one kind of along the same veins as The Everlasting by Alex E. Harrow, The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillick, which I still need to read. It's kind of all in the same vein. So I'm really, really excited to try this one out. I've heard really good things. I don't remember too much about it, but I am excited to read it because, like I said, I've heard really, really great things about this book. I've heard it's really good, and so yeah, I'm excited to try this one. I also got, because it's on my July TBR, figured I'd just go ahead and buy it because I do want to read it, and that is A Forbidden Alchemy. This is by Stacey McEwen. This is a paperback edition, and it still has like the sprayed edges on it. This one, Nina Harrow and Patrick Coulson are only 12 years old when they are whisked from their mining towns to dazzling Bellavere City to determine their fate, wield powerful artisan magic for Bellavere, or return to their craftsman families in the mines. Together they discover a devastating secret. Artisans aren't born, but chosen. Years later, the two have taken very different paths. Nina has risen to become one of the rarest, most coveted types of artisan, and Patrick has taken the helm of a rapidly igniting craftsman revolution. When Nina is captured by Patrick's rebel group, sparks still fly between them as he asks for her help, and she must make an impossible choice that will determine the fate of their world. So it sounds really good. It's basically like they're best friends, and they get separated, and then they come back together. So it sounds really good. I'm definitely curious to try it out. Hopefully I love this, and I can't wait. Like, this is on my TBR. I figured I'd buy it. My audiobook came through from Libby, but I don't listen to a lot of fantasy on Libby, so I thought I would buy it, and I've wanted to get this one since it was like first came out in hardcover, so I figured I may as well just buy it. And then last but not least, finally, the very end, 25 minutes in of talking about these books, but I got Daggermouth. I saw this one on Amazon before it came out. I read the synopsis. It sounded really interesting. I absolutely loved the cover, and so when I saw it at Barnes yesterday, I got it. So this is by H.M. Wolf. I've never read anything from this author. I don't know if this is a debut or not, but I'm excited to read it. It says, he is her ruin, she is his rebellion. The first thing you'll learn in Newfound Haven is that mercy doesn't exist. The second is that from the highest class atrium in the heart to the windowless slums of the Boundary, the Vera are always watching. The last lesson is the hardest, but you must remember it. Love outside of your ring is a death sentence. The city is carved into rings of privilege and poverty, ruled by a masked elite who will do whatever it takes to hold on to power. Obedience is demanded. Rebellion is crushed. Grayson Serrell has spent his life caught between two worlds. Publicly, he's the flawless heir to the presidency. Privately, he's entangled in secrets that could topple the regime. But when he's forced into a political marriage meant to bind him more tightly to the government's brutal laws, he finds himself shackled to a bride as lethal as she is unwilling. Shadra Kale is a mercenary raised to kill, not to wed. Yet when her bullet misses its mark, survival leaves her tied to the very man she was sent to eliminate. Trapped inside the corrupt heart of the city, she becomes both prisoner and wife, her every step watched, her every move tested. As secrets come to light and betrayals fester within the walls of power, Grayson and Shadera must decide between annihilating each other or burning the city to the ground together. In a world where passion has consequences and loyalty is paid for in blood, their forced bond may be the spark that ignites a revolution or the fire that consumes them both. So it sounds really good. It's got really cool, like, futuristic end papers on there, and it sounds really interesting, and it's kind of like a dystopian-esque type of read. I think it kind of gives me the vibes of like the Hunger Games or Divergent, or like some of those like older dystopian, like really popular dystopian books. Kind of gives me vibes similar to that, but a more adult instance, I guess. So I'm really curious to try this one out. I really hope I enjoy it along with the rest of these. Very, very excited for all of them. So I am not going to try and pick these up. This stack is way too big, and there's no way. My arms aren't long enough to hold all these books and try and get them all in frame. So have you read any of these books? Are you excited for any of these books? Are there any of these that you would like to see me talk about? I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you so much for being here, hanging out with me for a little bit, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.